welcome into this pick a pile reading on what would it enlighten you to hear. So the timestamps for the piles are below. I'm feeling like doing a collective reading. I also want to note that I have a timer that will go off that I just remembered about in maybe an hour or something, so the reading that is around that mark, either it will cut off at or there'll just be a slight inconvenience of me turning my alarm off. I don't know if alarms make the video stop because I'm recording on my phone. Okay, so that's a small thing. I wonder how that's significant because I could have thought of that before, but I'm remembering it right now in the intro. Or I could have remembered it after. Yeah, there's something that you are remembering before instead of after, which kind of feels like this entire reading. Like, you could hear these messages, you could receive these knowings at any time, but you're hearing it before, and that will allow you some more peace because of what you can do now that you hear it. It feels like a very much timeline shifting energy where with extra information now, or extra energy even, but energy is information, depends how you define information. With extra information now, there's new options to take. It's not necessarily new options, it's just simply what do you want to do with this new information. Yes, we'll leave it at, yeah, there's wobbly. It's like this whole collective reading feels like there's wiggle room. There's wiggle room. Cool. Cool. Let's get well, I just opened this intuitively without thinking. I kind of wanted to do different cards for the pile selections, but let's do a collective cards. Okay, what messages are here for the collective? 4 of Cups. I'm being drawn to like the jaggedness of the side was kind of like flipped up, and now I'm being drawn to how this is a deck of like the off prints, the ones that weren't printed correctly, quote unquote correctly. I like the jumbled ones. So there could be about that, something where it's like what you're thinking is off is actually on, or something that many would perceive. I feel like it's you. I feel like there's something you're perceiving to be an inconvenience or like less than, which is actually a blessing. Or even the message of it might be something you don't like about yourself. There might be something particular that you don't like about yourself that you think is there's so many words coming to my mind, most of them beginning with ill or like irregular or ill hyphen stuff, but someone else really likes this about you because I'm being drawn to how many would perceive these as like misprints or not of correctness or not the most pretty ones. Like being scuffed is usually seen as not as valuable, but it is more valuable to me personally. So there's someone or a part of yourself that values, I feel like it's someone else values something that you deem as less valuable about yourself or about your circumstances. Because I'm not being drawn to this card itself. I'm not being drawn to 4 of Cups, even though what I've been saying can kind of fit with that energy of 4 of Cups, which is that of like opportunity being here, and we can view that as the opportunity of valuing something. Like there's better than it seems. Okay, but yeah, but the message is still, I'm not really being drawn to the card, I'm being drawn to the situation of the card. So there could also be a message of there's more to this when you look at what it actually is, as opposed to like the circumstances around it or the way it acted. Like say this is a person, this could be you, it's like your focus has been on your actions as opposed to you. Like, who are you? Maybe someone is valuing you more than you deem yourself to be of value because they're valuing you, they're valuing the painting, and you haven't even really been focused on you, the painting, like you as a soul, you as a personality, like you, the you inside, or you as your entirety. You've been focused on the scuffs on the outside that they might even like. Okay, I love that message. Oh, I really love that message. There's someone who just adores you. I like how this is the collective reading also. I thought it would be less specific, but I keep being very drawn into specifics. Often I will leave it more open-ended, but here it's like, no, this is feeling very particularly like there is someone else outside of you who values you in a way that you do not value yourself, who sees you for more of the fullness of the picture. As well, it's like they're not discounting those parts of yourself that you deem as like more irregular or less in place, because the whole picture is kind of like slanted. It's not balanced. If you feel like you're unbalanced, they kind of like this about you. And I'm kind of seeing this as like movable, so like the painting, you actually are becoming balanced and they see this in you too. And yet it's okay where you're currently at. Okay. I feel like that's specifically why this deck wanted to be used, because I don't have any other decks that are like this. And I'm not getting any more cards from this. I'm going to do a bit of sound healing. I'm going to bring my Labradorite in more. She feels like she has energy to offer you. That was so cool. I felt a collaboration between me and her bringing energy through with that. Okay. I really want to speak in another language now, but it feels like one I don't know. It's not necessarily like language. Maybe there are some beings who want to come through. I kind of want to channel some beings here now, yes. As I get some cards to see who wants to come through. They're very gentle. I'm kind of getting a cream vibe from them. Like the color cream, not like I just said cottage cream. I was thinking of like a double cream or like that from milk. But yeah, that nourishing fullness wants to come through. They feel very gently moving. I'm being told that some of you have recently connected with this collective. I was asking who they were, and they said I won't get them in these cards, and only once I'm saying that. But they could be slightly connected to Mantid energy. I'm kind of getting that. It's like in one way they're very similar to mantids, but they're very different. Like overall they're very, very different, but there's like a link between them. It's like they're cream kind of mantids. Now I'm hearing like cream of the something. Isn't that like a phrase, a catchphrase? Like it means the best of the best. Yeah, I feel like this is tying to this energy of like someone thinks you're the best of the best. Ooh, 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 ooh. Now I feel like a monkey. Like ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, I'm seeing something about the side of the throat, but it's almost up into the jaw part. Nakaye, nakaye desh, anikadesh. Wanigesh, satakadesh, anakadesh. Okay. Oh, look at that. I thought that was gonna come easily off. I just wiped my table for those of you not watching. And a black, I'm gonna call it black dribble. A black dribble got spread across the table. Okay. Ah! It's blackening! Why dash? Okay. Thank you everyone who collaborated in that. Now let's see if an animal card would like to come through for the collective. No, that's it, I'm being told. Okay. That's it for the collective. Let's head on. Let's head on to the next part of the journey, shall we? Why don't we? My brain, the title, what would enlighten you to hear? It's not making sense. See, I used to be very good at grammar, but at least to my mind. But for the past few years, my brain has become so squangled that, I mean, partly because I do kind of purposefully use bad grammar, which hasn't helped. But lately it's like, I read a sentence and I actually can't hear if it makes sense anymore. So the title, what would enlighten you to hear? It's like it only half makes English sense. Okay. I'm not sure if all the piles, okay, they will. All the piles will be with the card from here. So what's pile 1 gonna be? Wants to be this one, carrot. What does pile 2 want to be? I'm kind of getting that pile 2 doesn't want a card, but I'm gonna get them a card for like having something to see. Actually, shall we not? Yippee! Okay, let's not. Pile 2 is the blank space. Pile 3. Ooh, feels like one of these two. Which one do you want to be? Pile 3 is this one. Does it go like that or like that? This one. And pile 4. Onegaishimasu. Pile 3. They're coming out quite gently today. Gay, that could be significant. This is butterfly feeling, looking, expression. Butterfly wings. Okay, oh yeah, there's 4 piles. Was I asking for 3? I think I was asking for 4. That's pile 4 anyway. Hehe, this is at the back of the deck. I don't know which way around it goes. It's pretty sure it's that. Danga danga doo, dinky dinky ding. Let's put these back. I'm kind of feeling like this would be pile 2's card. It's almost like they have a card, but they just don't want it out. A little bit. It's kind of not that, but just that card itself is very elusive anyway. So I felt that, the patting. Something about patting with pile 2. Or like immense physical contact. Okay, that's a cool phrase. I feel like this will look weird on the thumbnail. Is that leaving enough space for pile 2? There we go. Okay. Welcome in pile selection. So pile number 1 is this carrot card. Pile number 2 is the elusive not wanting to have a card. Pile 3 is this card. And pile 4 is this butterfly looking kind of energy card. So I'll show you them a bit more up close. Pile 1. Maybe we'll get a crystal for each too. Pile 2. Ding ding ding. Pile... Oh, they want more time. Okay. Pile 3. Some of you might want to wait to choose if you're pile 3 or 2 from the crystal, because I felt a mingling of pile 2's. It was like still here as I was holding up pile 3. Wash that off, wash that off. Okay, pile 3. It's different. It's like it's being, it's quite like this image actually of like, but it would be like this. This is like being dragged from pile 2's energy. So it's usually more straight, but pile 2 is distorting it. Actually, I'll leave that like that. And pile 4. Yeah, pile 4 is secure. It's not being dragged by pile 3. Okay, let's get a crystal that's like above each. Interesting that I can't remember what I was gonna say. Okay, so pile 1's crystal is this large queer quartz. Pile 2's is this little clear quartz mushroom. Pile 3 is this green aventurine. It's like a plop him down. Pile 4 is this aquamarine. Those are your piles. Okay, now let's put these guys back. And I want to note that I almost used this like druzy something moon. And now I'm putting it back in a different way. Oh no, everything is changing. Change! We love a good bit of change. Change. I actually heard something else before I did that. I can't remember what it was though. Something to do. Oh, I heard change, like money change. So that could be significant. Okay, let's get in to the pile 1. Welcome in, pile 1. Yours is the only card with a back to it with writing of like not just this deck or not just the cards in the options, but of like all of my decks, like every single one, even the non-handmade ones. I believe I literally have no other card with writing on the back, so that's very significant. It feels quite like the collective message at the start, like no other, that phrase. Something is like no other here, and I can't bring it back up. It's like something has been maybe written and maybe someone has literally said the words "you are like no other" and you expect them to take it back, but they're standing their ground because there's an essence of I can't flip it over, or like I couldn't, but it was like I was choosing not to. It's like something is being solidified. Okay. It could also have to do with something you've seen. So something you've seen is being solidified. It could also be, yeah, it's making me feel like something from like the higher, either like sparkly energies, and drawing that down. Essence and like work. I heard time is of the essence. But it's giving me more of an energy of like, you understand time. You understand time. No, I'm hearing, for a lot of you, it's a more normal way of hearing the words time is of the essence. You're being like ushered along, I feel. Okay. I'm being really drawn to the T with the... Oh, okay. It's not even... I was gonna call it like an apostrophe or a dash. Something like... What are they called? Like an accent on the word, but it's not actually an accent. It's coming from this picture. So there could be something about an accent. I'm hearing it's not coming from who you might expect, not for everyone. Starling. I saw that as skydiver. Someone's gonna take a plunge. Blue tit. I saw that like a bull. A bull could be significant. It's kind of giving me that energy of taking a plunge again. Of like forcefully going after what you want. Following your... I heard inhibitions, okay? Following your trails where you're wanting to go, osprey. And really going for it. It's kind of making me feel like you can either win or lose in this situation. Because osprey, I don't know if this is true, but for the sake of the reading and what I'm seeing, I'm kind of seeing it like the osprey is diving to get a fish from the ocean, but there's a chance that he'll get taken by the water and will drown. But there's also a chance that he'll get the fish and fly out of or away from the water. And it's bringing me to this blue energy too. Bill, like I'm being really drawn to the beak also. And it's not the chest, but it's like this part of this bird. But it's not what it seems. Something's not as it seems. Okay, so I want to get a card for how does it seem and how is the truth of it. Or it's not who it seems. Okay. Let's get some... I wanted to call them activation cards. I think that's the main message for you, possibly. What would it enlighten you to hear? That it's not as it seems. So it could definitely be that you're seeing it far more treacherous than it is. Okay, how are you seeing it? What is the... Yeah, how are you seeing it? Passion, but maybe passion in reverse. How's the truth? No, does that want to go with that one? And what is the truth? 2 want to come out. There's 2 and 2 coming out. And root chakra in reverse behind. I'm kind of seeing maybe none of these are in reverse. Change in reverse. Okay. Change. Okay, that makes me think it's like just leave it as it is. Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe you're seeing it like leave it as it is. Okay, so something you're seeing, the way you're seeing it is far more like an energy of you'll be told off. Because this passion card is talking a lot about intense emotions like chaos. And it's saying long lasting here. Something about that could be significant. And this authority card is giving me the feeling of like an authority, like you are perceiving something as being far more like angry than it is, because the truth is, yes, there's passion, but it's a gentler sort of passion. I kind of want a rune, maybe, for each. Or no, just for this one. Because both are speaking of emotion, but one is of a very fiery nature. I wanted to get more about the sacral chakra. Like, what sort of emotion is the truth? Kenna's fire. So what is the... Okay, so now that if we've seen that, just I want to put it back in so we can still get that again if it is. And how are you perceiving this? Like, it's a guiding fire, yeah. Kenna's a light. Yeah, you'll see, this is literally reminding me of that bull energy. This is a bull, but it's reminding me of that, like, anger, of like stubbornness. Yes. I think you're seeing something as far more fixed than it is, because this sacral chakra kept bringing me to like more of a watery sort of fire. It's still passionate, but it's more mutable than you're seeing it to be, or it's less like strong. It's more of a like what's this word? It's giving me more of an energy of like it's an expansive energy as opposed to being tight and fixated, or it's just making me feel like you're expecting the worst, but it will enlighten you to hear that there's something much lighter, or they are, because I feel like this is a person or a situation where you're seeing them to be more like trying to control you, maybe. But it's not giving me that with passion. It's like you feel like they're a force to be reckoned with energy. And let's read what the truth is. Actually, let's read both of them. So this is how you're perceiving it. Passion and authority. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. Authority. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. You definitely have a respect for them. And the truth is sacral chakra and emergence. It's so much lighter. It's like instead of red and black, it's orange and purple. And maybe blue in the center. But it's like light colors. It's gentle. But it's still fiery. It still had that Kenaz too. It's like you are seeing it somewhat accurately. The frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires. Well, I tried to say to flow with... Oh, I kept wanting to read it the wrong way. So I wanted to read it like, supports our ability to flow with our desires of life. There's something like your desire of life. But this is the truth of them. Or the truth of what you're not seeing. Or just more of like a slight tilted perspective. Because it's like, yes, you are seeing the right thing. But if you take like a slightly shifted angle, then you'll feel more at ease. And stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. Emergence. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. I just feel like it's far more at ease than you see it to be. You might perceive them or it to be like a ride or die situation, like I can do this right and I can do this wrong, or and I'm not necessarily wanting to say that that's untrue, but there's an essence of the situation, at least, or the person not viewing it like that as much. They're viewing it more lightheartedly, more with that innocent state. Like we've literally kind of got like a more parental figure, and is how you're seeing them, and they or the situation is actually more in a childlike position. It's giving me more receptive energy. Yes, okay. This is exactly it. You're perceiving the energy correctly. However, it's like the flipped version. So it's like you're seeing them as more masculine, I feel. More like attacky. More like against you, maybe. But in actuality, they're more in their feminine. They're more receiving. It's the same energy though. It's this passion. It's this fire. And it's this wisdom, but it's coming from the other direction. It's coming from allowing as opposed to pursuing, or allowing as opposed to, like, this isn't an energy that's trying to direct anything. It's very flowing. Yeah. They're more open to seeing how things go than they are trying to already define anything. Yes. They feel like there is no fixation on a specific definition here. Okay, let's clear these cards and then recenter and get some more. Ah, cute energy. Yeah, I feel like they are, or this circumstance, the truth is far cuter. Far cuter. It's giving me a little bit of a vibe of like you were seeing someone like a man, but the truth of them is more like a woman. And, you know, take that as you will. Like, I was gonna try and, I don't know, say something about that, but that's what's coming through, so if you don't like it, then that's fine. Yeah, there's something about that. Allowing what is to be. I feel like that's the energy of the truth. It's more allowing. Yes. Less judgmental. Because that childlike innocence, that childlike attitude of innocence gives me an impression of far more forgiveness, far more allowance, far more non-judgmental energy. It's like a baby who is just curious. What will happen next, kind of thing. Okay, so what will it enlighten you to hear? What will enlighten you to hear? So these are some character cards. Minini is a reporter character. Energy of like a very clean light blue. There's something of a new way of being, a cleansed slate. It's kind of making me think of baby blue too, with that like child energy. And Pikinaru also giving me very clean energy. Her colors are like white and cream, and a bit of light blue also. So light blue, the energy of the throat chakra could be significant, because Minini also being a reporter or like a journalist, she writes a lot. Writing what you see? No. That's them, maybe. Or more of the truth of a situation. Iggy. Child. So much child energy. Iggy is a baby. I want to say the first baby. The first. So there's so much of a clean slate here. And sometimes I view not having images on these cards, because most of them don't have images, but there are some with images. Sometimes I view that as more of a hindrance or more of a setback, but in this case I'm viewing it as opportunity and a feeling of ease, like there is nothing set in stone, and that's relieving. I heard for the both of you. I'm finding this hard to not read as a situation with someone else. But it could totally be. There's such an energy of you're seeing everything correctly, but just in a harsher light. And it's not that that harshness isn't there, but it's like the fact that there's a focus on there doesn't allow you to see more of the full picture, and the full picture is far more relieving, far more uncomplicated. Or far more complicated, but it's like it brings in new approaches. It's like more firmness, but like a firmness in mutability. A firmness that things are reset. I think that's what that firmness was. It's like starting from ground zero. It's like you're not in the... I'm seeing like steps someone has made in the air, kind of like a game, like you hop on platforms. It's like that's less sturdy, so it's like the sturdiness that is being brought in now, and that could be the sturdiness of what you were seeing with the authority and the, what was above authority, passion. It's like that kind of sturdiness is there, but it's not from a state that needs to be worrying. It's from a state of like uncomplicated truth that may seem complicated, but it makes the complicated less complicated. It's an energy of being at the ground, like you're not on those platforms. There's nothing here in these cards. They're all very clean, new, renewed. Yeah, there's a renewal here. There's a renewal here. And I love of that. An enthusiasm for that. If you felt like this person held a grudge, they don't. If you felt like they had it out for you, I heard, they don't. I'm getting a lot of love here. It's like I could tap into the more passionate nature of it, but I'm not being drawn into that. It's like you probably are already aware of that part. What wants to be brought through here is so much gentleness. So much, like, care. Like, they really care for you. Whew. That made me, like, choke up a little. Or at least that energy of choking up feels... I'm just being drawn back to that, like, passion card. Yeah, it's like they feel very emotional. That fiery energy keeps coming to my mind now. They definitely feel like that passion you saw within them was definitely there. And I feel like that passion wasn't even directed necessarily towards this sort of passion. I don't know what to say about that. I'm being drawn to the gold. Okay, maybe that's all that needs to be said. And there's like blue within that gold. Okay. See, my hands literally brought me to this body deck. And yet, it's interesting. They might display themselves as more focused on the physical or on an intense connection, but what I feel from the energy here is so sweet and so loving, calming, present, like still. It's not fixated, it's not as intense. It's like that intensity is there, that might be how you, for the few of you who don't know who this is on about, that might be how you identify who this is. Very, like, there's so much intense and fiery and, like, obsessive nature here. Very scorpionic energy. 8th house. But they want to bring your attention to their soft side. Okay, are there any... I want to call them animal cards. I've done that before. And also animal, like that animalistic nature. It's like I've done that before. So it might have been like before they were more maybe in their primal energy or more in their assertive energy, more masculine feeling. But now what will enlighten you to hear is about their more soft, gentle side. Maybe more emotional side. It's like I'm saying the word emotional, but I guess I'm meaning like emotion water as opposed to emotion fire. Any body cards want to come out? These two. Okay. I want to bring your attention to how they came out, like when I was asking for them. So I feel like they might be far more like listening than they were perceived as before, or than you perceive them to be, or maybe how they acted before. Like they want to observe, or they want to watch, or they want to allow you to be you. It's like they want to see who you are. I'm getting an energy of, or an image of someone who speaks very fast or gets extremely excited or passionate about what they're talking about, and they may have in the past like been want to interrupt you with like the things that they're wanting to say, or they just very maybe pushy with what they're saying, but the energy they're in now is like they don't feel like that is who they are. They feel like they are more in that feminine energy of listening, or at least, again, that's what's being brought into this reading. Focus on their receptivity. Okay, so the cards we got were teeth and chest. Teeth is making me thinking of biting down on something, chewing something over. Chest is making me think of the heart. Okay, I'm being told that it's not about the heart. What is it about? I'm being drawn to, or being told the eye, but I don't understand why that would come out through the heart. I mean, through the chest. The eye? Biting down on what you're seeing. Chewing over. You're overthinking something. Or they're overthinking. No, it's you. I feel like you're overthinking something. Okay. I want to get more of these cards again. Let's bring it back on top of these three. Divine Masculine. This also could be, with this being towards the left side. I want to know if, like I was going to say that this is more in that before energy of on the left was what you're seeing it as, and then the right is more of the truth, and the red maybe is what is true about what you're seeing. That it's like the blending of the two. Romantic love at the back. Chest. But the eye, why eye? I'm being so drawn to the T also, but also the S is giving me an energy of flooded, being flooded with S. Let's leave him out there, shall we? Why don't we? So this divine masculine energy at the start made me feel again like, and with Minini being the writer, they may have written a lot, or like divine masculine was just making me think that you perceived them as being extremely like go-getter, like saying a lot and having a strong mind. And while yes, like third eye is also the mind, it's more of an intuitive mind, or like psychic powers this talks of. And it's very related to the carrot. I want to say they have more of the mind that you have, because carrot is making me think that this is you. You are very seeing, very knowing, very intuitive, very, I said very intuitive. No, I didn't. Intuitive? I feel like you think you're not as intuitive as you are. You may be afraid of that. Or it's like you think you've lost something. These sparks, I'm seeing them going away. You feel like you've lost them or lost your like spark. You've lost your grip. Okay, I'm kind of losing this energy. That's what I feel like you're in. Like you feel like you're at a loss. You feel like you let them go, or you feel like I can't see more, but what I'm being drawn to, yeah, that's what you feel like. You can't see beyond what is obvious. And I feel like the obviousness that you're both feeling, both seeing, or the combined truth, I want to say, or a truth, is that there's a strong energy of foundation here. There's root chakra energy. There's a foundation that you both want to build off. And it's bringing me back again to that number one. It's like the start, the beginning. It's safe now. It's grounded. It's giving me the vibe of like there was a lot that was muddled, that needed to be pushed to the side, that needed to be worked through. And it's being worked through. And because all the, like, maybe you did jump onto those platforms and they fell down. And because you jumped onto them and they fell down, it's like that, those platforms that were before in the sky, like, filled in some of the caves that were on the surface. And now the surface is clean slate. It's, what do you call that, flat? So you can build off it and build what you really want off it this time. Okay. I really want to say it's like you're perceiving things correctly, you just aren't giving yourself credit for that. Or you're... It's like what you see is true, but then I think maybe you try and take more of a practical vision of it, and then it looks less true. Yeah. There's guidance to use your feeling more than your practicality of seeing. Black kite friend. He came out fast. And magpie. I wanted to call him friend too. And magpie friend. Didn't want to move up. There's something, yes, you again, it's like you're seeing it as fixed, and it is fixed, but it's fixed in a relieving way. It's like an energy of you think something is out to get you, but it's using those things that you see as out to get you, but it's using those things because it's like literally trying to get you. Not like out to get you in a way to harm you, but in a way because it cares about you. I feel like there's so much potency within this connection, this reading, within them, within you, and it can be off-putting if it's viewed in a certain light, but I feel like that might be only if you're viewing it from the light of others as opposed to your light. In what way do you, the truest version of you, see this? See them and see this situation and see, I want to say, like the actions or the things they say or write or do. It's more like saying, it feels very like communication, but I felt not so sure about saying that. I got a ringing in my right ear as I just thought that might be what this is about for you. Like, I don't know if I should say that. That could be relevant. There was also something about the letter T, and like there's lots of lines for each. This was making me think of 3 tries, like 3rd time lucky, or there's 4 here, 4th time lucky, or... Okay, I think this might be it. I think it's like you're seeing something as those steps again, as those, like trying to jump to another platform, as opposed to seeing this as the fresh slate that it is. For some of you, I think this isn't true for most of you, but for some of you, this is someone new, and you are approaching them like they're someone old. So there's a call to really view them in the light of who they really are, which is new. And I want to say that that message is true for those that are old also. A lot of you feel like you could already be in a relationship with them, like this is your partner we're on about. For others of you, it's just someone that you've spoken to. And there's a sense of knowing that you have, that all is well, and that you are new and they are new too, or they are ready to approach this from a blank, from the beginning. They're ready to see this from the beginning, and you are too. But I think that you just fear that your intuition isn't right about being ready to see this as renewed. And I think that's what will enlighten you to hear, that it is a far lighter situation than you're seeing it to be. Okay, pile number 1, that's been your reading. I shall see you in another reading, or I shall see you, feel you, know you in another energetic space of life. Bye bye. Choose to see the truth because you can. Discernment. There's a lot about power within this reading, I feel, and the way in which you relate to power. Because I feel like maybe you view them as very powerful, but you are viewing that as a negative as opposed to a positive. Maybe you saw it like because they had power, that must mean that you don't somehow. I want to say also, for those of you here, I feel like you're confused, but my mind wants to say, but there's no need to be confused. But I wanted to find a better phrasing for that. But I think that's what you're doing. It's like, it's okay to say things in a way where you know that they'll get what you mean, even if it's not completely in alignment with the truth, or it's even if it's worded wrong. Or I want to say the intention is the part that they care about, or that you care about. Otter, happiness. Yeah, it's like joy is right here, and I feel like you might be stressing over something that isn't. I feel like maybe you're stressing because you feel like they're stressing, or like they are presenting something to stress about, but I feel like they're not. It's like you might, if you're in a relation, actually I don't need to give that. I feel like you might view them like they perceive this to be a conflict, and therefore you are in the energy of conflict, and yet they are not in the energy of conflict. They're in the energy of peace. And my voice started getting like croaky at that, so I feel like that is a very strong part of this. Let's get a card for those of you here. Whoa, it's dropping, it's not wanting to be seen. It's love. It's love. I feel like you might be afraid to let your guard down into the love that you perceive there to be here, because we see and saw that you are very intuitive. You feel the truth. You know the truth. You know what this is. And penguin, authentic. Family. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. And I'm seeing this break free from others' expectations being a bit like your own expectations too. But no, I feel like it's what you have projected onto other people as having expectations of surrounding you. Like, you perceive other people to be having expectations of you that they might not really be having. Love. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. I feel like what would enlighten you to here is enlightenment. It's like there is more lightness here. Yes. It's like I wanted to get more, see more, but there's no more to see. Love is here. I feel like the coldness is really speaking to me. Maybe you're keeping yourself cold when you don't need to be. The warmth of them is calling out to you. There's like an invitation from them to get closer. I heard if you ask. So it could be that because you haven't stated your desires for closeness, for example, that they haven't shown an openness for that, and because of that you feel like they're showing you that they're closed off to that, or that they don't want that too. But it's simply because maybe they were waiting for you, or waiting for more of an invitation for that openness. There's an energy of allowing yourself to relax. Like, literally within your body, like, how are you sitting now? Where is the tension? How can you breathe out the tension and allow your body to, I'm kind of feeling, be more at one with theirs. Relax into theirs. Relax with theirs. Relax thinking of theirs. There's a very like holding energy. I heard hold me. Very like cuddling. I'm being drawn to the face the storm. But that's interesting that I said face the storm as opposed to when you face the storm. It's again giving that feeling of needing to recognize that you are in the cold, or it's like facing the storm that you perceive to be as a storm, and then you'll find that there's actually warmth there, or there's mountains underneath the snow. So when you scrape away the snow, you'll find the mountain. You'll find the green beneath the white, or beneath the ice. I'm thinking of the teeth and chest card, and like scraping off with your teeth to... Oh, I can't see it anymore. It's just giving the energy of like scraping off the snow with your teeth to find the chest beneath of the heart, the love of the green. Okay. Pile number 1. I love you. I'll see you. Bye bye. And I find myself now putting my sleeves down, warming up a bit more. Ah yes, pile 2 doesn't have a picture. Welcome in, pile 2. I wonder, since you don't have a card, if I shouldn't use any cards and we should just straight channel. So I guess we'll start with some sound healing. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be this entire reading. So heads up. Well, knowing me, I'll probably say some things, but pile 2, what would enlighten you to hear is hearing sounds that I'll bring through. I'll bring through the sounds that will enlighten you to hear. I just saw like the flame, the candle, like a drop of it, like flying off, flying away, like a piece of the fire flying away. Okay. end then, I felt or knew my third eye has been cleansed. So this could have to do with the third eye. And I'm like hyper vigilant, I heard, on this lapis lazuli, which connects to the third eye also. Also, I'm thinking of ancient Egypt and eyelashes. That could be, or eyeliner, that could be significant. I'm wanting to get cards for you now. Angels and Lemuria, I heard. But I kind of heard the angels of Lemuria, but it felt like that wasn't for everyone. It was like, some of you it's just angels and Lemuria separation. Maybe you're an angel or you're a Lemurian being, and you're either in separation or togetherness with that of another, who is either is the angel or the Lemurian, depending on which one you were. Or maybe not, depending on which one you were. Okay, come on. Am I psychic or what? Lemuria. Let me look up this. You can see if you can see this. Is that focused? Lemuria. Okay. There's a lot of activation within that. You may be feeling fidgety or like you need to be restless in some way. Or like there's so much to look at or so much to do. There's so much. This is what will enlighten you to hear. Because I think that's the truth. There is so much. But it's not in a negative way. It's in a, I heard like experiential way. So there might just be simply so much you want to dive into. This could be to do with connecting with Lemuria. Like there's so much of this realm to explore or to create. Hedarians. Empathy. Ooh, look at him jumping out. Mintaka. It could be something for some of you of that which you connected to in your past is now resurfacing, now being brought to your attention once more. Welcome in, pile 3. The setting is a bit different because I'm feeling this, okay. I'm filming this multiple days later, and I feel like a big part of that is your message is very profound, and I feel like I really needed to integrate more awareness for me to be able to channel the right message for you. So there's something very, it keeps feeling very philosophical, but not in a, I wanted a word it grand. I wanted to use the word grand, but that's not quite fitting this energy. It is fitting the energy completely, but also not. I'm already feeling like something is wrong. So I wonder if you feel like something is more wrong than it is. And I say than it is because I feel like there's a lot about you having forward momentum right now. And a lot about changing your idea about where you really are. Because in the intro, I wanted to flip your card, saying that it was like your card was being pulled by, was it pile 2, I think? The non-card card. But that's not the alignment of this card, and nor do I feel like that is where you're currently at. But I feel like there's a part of your mind that is still stretching yourself backwards. And I don't think it's because you see that as the right way up. Because even when I flipped the card so that you were being pulled backwards, I did it with the knowing that that was what I was doing. So I feel like when you feel like you're moving backwards, you're very much aware of this. You're allowing yourself to be pulled backwards. But this reading isn't about being pulled backwards. It's about allowing that state of being that feels like it's in alignment with your soul. Because I feel like this is a pile that really understands, I heard like the gravity of your situation, but also the word like brevity came to mind. But it's not like understanding the gravity of your situation in a way that doesn't feel right. It's just understanding like the depth of your soul. Not necessarily the depth of your soul, but the depth of connection you desire to have with your soul. Because we can all experience the depth of connection with every single soul, and yet I think the thing that you're now valuing is that depth. I feel very like messages should be really easy, or are very easy. It's like you fully understand your situation now, I feel. However, it's still all over the place, but it's almost like you're creating it to be all over the place as opposed to it actually feeling that way. It's giving me a strong energy of settling into where you really are, settling into a new space. I want to say this new space. I feel like something big has happened. And a part of that could simply be your recognition of the grandness of yourself. There's this energy of philosophy again. But it's not necessarily like contemplating, but it's more this energy of seeing depth and appreciating wisdom, appreciating wholeness in the way you see it to be. This is one of the few cards that has a lot coloured in. It gives me very otherworldly feeling. Not in an ecstatic sort of way, but in a very peaceful, like almost mundane way. It feels like this huge shift that you have undergone or are undergoing, but I think you've already undergone it, but you may just be resisting really feeling into the alignment. It's like, look at this image with both the top and the bottom, what you're grounded into and what that grounded into reflects out into the higher spectrum. I don't know if I worded this correctly, but essentially the main anchor points of this card are very stable. They're in their place. And that's how I feel like you are right now. And yet this center is being dragged and pulled and is still wobbly. And it makes me feel like there's more going on than needs to be going on. And I feel called to bring in an energy of surrender, because it's like it's a choice. It's your mind that allows you to be dragged in all these different directions, but with that state of surrender, it's letting go of the pull. It's not necessarily trying to control yourself to let go of the pull, but it's the understanding that there really can be no pull of self when you choose that to be. There's an understanding with this pile of your own choice to remain grounded, your own choice of how you want to respond to the energies that pull on you. And I think mainly it comes from remembering these two anchor points, that you are in alignment. It just feels like your headspace may be all over the place. It's not just your headspace, or it may be not your headspace. It definitely is for some of you though. It's this energy of feeling like you have to be pulled in every direction. There's a call to become the one in charge of yourself, of your life. Some of you may have been allowing external forces, whether they be ones you respect or not, to dictate the way you want to ground yourself in life, in yourself. Okay, I think that's what we'll start with, and then we'll get some more cards. Oh yeah, I want to note that I brought Tiger's Eye in for you, which felt very fitting. And it was the last one. I won't explain how I got to that, but it was the last one in the bag, and I had forgotten. It's not that I had forgotten it, but that's not really the message. It's not about forgetting or remembering. It's just a sense of something being repeated, or coming back to a certain energy that you once held, or that you once were more able to ground yourself in. And there may have been many lessons along the way, or many things that you have learnt through being more disoriented, but now it's like coming back to that groundwork, coming back to that center. And I want to note that Tiger's Eye it's a crystal that they don't want me to say what I was going to say. What do you? But there's something to say about it still. It keeps bringing me back to the past. But it's not the past in like a recent past. It's a very like ancient past. This could be like several years ago, or this could be lifetimes ago, or a lifetime ago. It doesn't feel like loads of lifetimes ago, whatever that sense of time means for you. And I also want to note that I don't have my hair up for this reading, which I always have. There's so much of a like a solid presence to this energy. It's not quite solid, well, not at all solid, but it how should I word this? It is the energy of hair down, not hair up. Feeling into your surroundings. I keep being shown an energy of like you being like one with your surroundings, but it's not in a fast-paced or strong energetic. It's like energetic way. It's so like Tiger's Eye. It's so gentle and so innate. Well, it's not innate. Well, I'm not saying that it's not that, but it's Fera Atenish. That's how I'll explain it. Okay, let's get some animal cards. Or maybe the other ones in this deck. There's like an energy of settling down into that which you have found. That which you have remembered. But it's just like an odd sense of remembrance. Well, it's not odd, it's just I think it's something that you haven't come into for a long time. Or I'll say it's very peaceful. It feels very good, even though there may be a sense of unease with it. It's not really unease, it's like something of a bitterness, but it's not really bitter. It's something of a grief, I think that's what it is. There's something of a grief, but sitting in that energy, or really allowing all of the present to be, feels good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure if I want to get a card on the past. No. Okay. I'll just see what wants to come out, and then we'll read it as such. Which feels like your energy. It's not choosing a pattern to take. It's not, again, like that energy before I've touched on of trying to force the surrender or force yourself to align. But it is still choosing that. But it's a non-forceful sort of choice. It's choosing direction, choosing order without choosing the order. This is without selecting what order you're choosing. You are, and yet it's not in control. It's in complete grounding into what is, flowing, allowing your soul to show you what is. And I keep wanting to say soul within this reading, so there could be something very significant about that for you. If not about that area, that word. And words feel like books and not quite scrolls, like books. Like an old dusty library in this energy. Some of you are like, that's so on point. At the back of the deck of this is Fox Friend, which I'm bringing a select part of it into this reading. I can feel that old book vibe into Fox or from Fox. It's like a musky sort of intelligence. Musky, dusty. Almost frizzy, but not really that word. It's like, I feel like the word frizzy would have an old definition. Or like a definition in another language that fits. I will keep him out. Okay. Jellyfish. I really love this energy for you. It's changing my perspective on everything. I think you're in a new energy where you get to experience anything, be it old or new, in a way that feels old and new. It's giving me a lot of it's integrating more of your soul, so everything you experience is more full and more, yes, refreshing, but also I'm seeing pictures of flowers and lots of other imagery, and that's kind of it. It's like there's more layers to everything that you're seeing and experiencing now, because you have integrated more layers of your own self. But those words, it's like upon saying them, they fit, they channeled smoothly. I wasn't forcing it when I was saying them. But upon reviewing that, it felt forced, or like I had heard those words before and they didn't fit here. So that could be very significant for you too. Like, you've heard those words before and they don't fit any longer. And this is bringing me back to that philosophical energy. There's something, so I heard demeanor, but it was not that word, like not your demeanor, it was demure? That could be a word. I don't know what it means. I don't think I know what it means. I think I know what it means, but I don't know if I actually said the right word. I know that I have an energy of a word, like an imprint within my mind. That word imprint feels so fitting here. But I'll go back to what I was saying about... Oh, they're bringing me back to that word. Okay. There's such a grey energy to this to this pile, and I really love it. I'm being drawn to the words jelly and fish also. It doesn't quite fit the creature to me in this moment. So there's seemingly a lot that isn't fitting because it's based off still how you used to view life. That which is present all fits, and you're coming to a greater understanding of how it fits. There may have been things you were trying to push away out of thinking they didn't fit, and maybe that was what was causing a lot of this back and forth wobbling, but you're coming to a peace with why they do fit. So why do they fit? Because I feel like you're understanding more of your own... I heard like wash, your own wash, and I saw an image of a river, and it wasn't just the image of a river, it was the image of a river that I got when I wrote a certain like poem, but that poem was like a reminder to myself. It was I don't remember what it was, and I don't think it was an actual poem, but it was like writing, a sort of writing that I had kept to remind myself to surrender. It was something along the lines of, like, I'm in the river, and I know that this river is going to the sea, but there are times where the river gets, what do you call that? Like, the waves come in the river and I fear, and I see the river going in, like, not the direction towards the sea. It's like going left instead of forwards. And I see the land and I try and swim to the land to run towards the river. But had I stayed in the river... No, it's not that. And then it's like... bear with. Then a wave of water washes over me and I remember that I'm in the river. And that river is going to the sea. The sea is like all that is, but it's not all that is. It's like my destination. Myself, I guess. And I felt like I could have remembered all of that in this moment, and yet I didn't. It's like you're having such a non-fully mental understanding. It's like you remember everything. You're really integrating a knowing within yourself. And yet it may be different from the sort of integrated knowings that you've had more recently, and bringing you more into this energy from the past of how you used to maneuver through life. Essentially, that writing was saying there's no need to try and get there with your mind in the way that you see is fastest. Like, don't run towards the ocean. Allow yourself to be carried by the river that is seemingly going in another direction, but it turns around and it does find its way to the ocean, and it's far faster that way. But it's not even about the speed, it's more about this idea of already being in place and being taken, as opposed to needing to push. And that is very much this energy of already being where you need to be. Everything already being in its place. I feel like maybe you've been trying to put things in their place, including yourself, and just that within your vicinity, not necessarily physically but energetically. Trying to order everything, but everything is already in its order, and it's coming to a touching sort of understanding of the true place of everything. That everything is already in its place. Yeah, I just feel like you've been struggling for a while. And I don't mean struggling in like a finding things difficult necessarily. It's more like struggling as in you've been too masculine, too like maneuvering. This jellyfish energy is of such abstract understanding. It's like an energy to me of no mind, or it's like the mind is not fixated on any one thing. It's everything. Even with this image, it's like I can't actually make out the different tentacles, or I can't really make out what this is. It just becomes one. Coyote wants to pop out at the back, which is bringing in that energy of carefree. There's an energy of, of rest, but it's not really, I heard it's not here to stay. It's, I'm not sure how to word it. I also keep being drawn to the Akashic records within this reading. Red Panda. Balance. We have more of this energy of higher and lower, because there's something about Red Panda where they like spend equal time in the trees as they do on the ground or something, and that brings me to this energy of the top being grounded and the bottom being grounded. It's also making me think of Buddhist monks or Buddhism, which makes me think of past life energy and stillness. Yeah, there's a sense of stillness here, that everything is still, but that includes movement. I think there's a reshaping of what is secure and what is whole. What is? There's a reframing of what it's like to be in balance. What that really means. And the blank card. There's only one of these in this deck. I want to note that. Only one. There's only one blank card. That's... Okay, that fits so perfectly there in a way I'm not sure I can express. It fits so perfectly there. And yet I'm going to get another card and I might replace it there. It might actually be Pile 4's card, which isn't here. This card, but it's giving me a really weird energy. Like, I didn't really want to take it. And I think that's because I can't take it from this energy, or it's such a future energy. It's not even newness. I can't say newness, because it feels more old than new. But again, it's like not recent old, but very old. Who you used to be, who you used to know. And that could just be the energy of like who you used to know as life. I'll hold it up. But this blank card does want to be a part of the reading. There aren't many cards or any with this sort of... I heard tilling and scraping. Scraping. These are reminding me of watermelons, especially since I just got a watermelon yesterday. But it's intact. Yes, again, it's bringing me back to this energy of what is wholeness, because these are watermelon slices, and yet on this page, on this card, they are whole. They are their own individuals. And yet when I thought of my watermelon downstairs, I thought that is whole. There's a re-understanding of what it means to be at peace and what it means to already be there, to no longer be striving. And that doesn't mean that there's no change. It just simply means that there is wholeness within activity or inactivity. There's wholeness within every part of experience, within every part. All the parts are whole. Yes, it's making me really feel like this is an energy that you have already brought in. It's already there. You already feel this. And yet, what fits within the present more is this blank square. But this is the future. There's an essence of comparison, is what I heard, but it's not comparing which is more or less whole, or better or worse. It's not comparison in any way, it's simply the understanding of what is. I feel so much energetic information coming through in this video. I felt the need or the desire to say this, so possibly some of you find it helpful to know that you are feeling what I'm bringing through, even if it's not like stimulating your mind in the way that maybe you are trying to experience this. And that is the energy again. It's that of embracing a new sort of sense, an 11th sense, a 100th sense, your 100th sense. There could be something significant about that that number 100 also. And it makes me think of, again, that energy of wholeness, because 100 is the end, but I don't ever see it as the beginning. It is wholeness, but it is also, it's like completeness, but it also rounds down to 1. And that energy of 1 also, it feels very incomplete at this moment. And it doesn't feel like the beginning either. But it does, in one way, feel like the beginning. But that 100, there's something so off-putting about it right now. And I think that that's because of the old way you used to see it. The old way you saw this completion. You saw wholeness as maybe a certain vantage point or a certain point in life, a certain experience perhaps. And I think that you're coming into more, I heard fruitful understanding, but I want to bring in that energy, that word soul again. You're coming into more soulful understanding of what it means to really feel whole. What the sort of life you want to experience really is, but it's not really like what it is, it's more how it is. There's an energy of the undercurrent, but not really the undercurrent, more like the through current. It's like the middle section. Yeah, because we have again in this card, it's like you have the higher perspective, you have the lower perspective, and now you're grounding the middle section, the middle perspective. what really has the focus of life often. Because I feel like you've looked up and you've looked down, and now what is in between? But it's not necessarily a blending of the two, it's simply what is in between. Maybe the idea of balance wasn't one that you used to like. Maybe you looked more for extremes, and that was your rightness, that was more fulfilling to you. And I think that it's not that you're now coming into a resonance with balance in a way that feels like you have to compromise. It's understanding that balance can mean having the entirety of the lower and the entirety of the higher, holding them both, and then seeing again what that creates in the middle. The middle isn't a compromise, it's fullness in and of itself, but it's a new sort of fullness. There's so much of a change of perspective that I feel like you have that enables you to actually reach this future that you have wanted, that you are wanting, or that you want, that future that you love, this future that you love, this present that you love. This present that you love has been attainable because you're not seeing anything as compromise anymore. You're not seeing anything as half full. You're seeing everything as in its place. You're feeling in your place. There's no more stretching, because any sort of stretching that is perceived in one light is completely unstretched in another light. I think you're integrating within your daily life more of the understanding of everything's completion, but not in a way that feels like you've completed. It's in a way that there's always more. But again, not in a way that feels like you're always striving, because you feel the knowing that this is what you already want. I felt so much resistance to that final word, that final phrase, that this is what you want. Because I feel like you don't feel like something is what you want. And if you feel like you are being asked to see something as what you want, then that is not the truth. I feel like you still somehow feel held back from experiencing that which you truly want. We're not saying that you can't experience that which you truly want. We're saying that this which you truly want, that thing that would feel to you as though you weren't disappointed, this thing that would feel, it's giving more of like an ecstatic energy, like very energized and just blissful. This thing that you really want, the way in which you experience it is through the change in dynamic within your relation to experience and what wholeness is. We are never saying that you can't have that which you want. We are always guiding you in that direction, in the direction of what that true calling is. I'm going to bring you back to that energy of soul. But it's more of like a combination of the soul and the heart. That which your heart desires. What is that which your heart desires? We know. We know. And you know. This is an experience that isn't held back from you. It is an experience which simply requires a shift in perspective in order to access. These aren't lessons that need to be learnt before you can experience something better. It's simply an experience that can only be accessed through being that which is experiencing the experience. You have been on your way this whole time to embodying this. I said that sentence like it was going to fill in that which you've been embodying. But I was brought to seeing it, but not finding any word that encompassed it. Because I think that that's what all of this is really pointing to. This perspective shift that you're being called into isn't one that you need to try to find. I think you're like at the last point where you've understood everything that you could practically or mentally, and now it's a state of falling into who you really are, falling into your soul, into your heart, and just simply allowing yourself to live as that, allowing that you to live. Because some of you may have felt when I said that it needed to continue on, or you needed to keep living until you could get this, but this isn't a state of ever waiting. It's always a state of aligning with the energy that allows you to experience certain experiences. You are really learning that your heart, I heard like your heart is up for grabs, or your heart is there for the taking. And I think that is talking to everyone, as in your heart is open for taking by yourself and by others too. This is an energy you get to embody. I want to say you've made it. And I'm now seeing this as the present. It's no longer this blank card. And that is what is so satisfying to look at now. Jumping frogs is making me think of you're in the place where the past, future, and present all meet. You have this understanding of what the extent of your eccentricity is. I was saying that with so much hesitation, but then afterwards I got like a nod. Like, yes, you did it well. And that it didn't have to come out that way. There's a message in that I didn't need to be nervous about it or question it. And I think that is this energy that you're now in. It's that of simply experiencing and not needing to question. There's an essence of stepping into more of a love of science, a love of experimentation, a love of inquisitivity. Yes, those words. Inquisitiveness. There's a love of this that you are allowing yourself to step into. Because all these things, they feel like things that may have been a part of the struggle of the past, and now you're allowing them to more represent who you are, as opposed to steps along the way or guidelines. There's a thrill of life that you are returning to, remembering. And yet again with that word remembering, I don't quite want to use it. This is a moment that you've never experienced before, and yet there are energies that feel as though you have. I just need to move. Oh, change my position. There could be something about it's like an energy of finding your groove again. And yet that word again, I don't want to say again because there's so much brightness that doesn't feel like again really encompasses. And yes, there's this again, there's this againness. There's this brightness that is from the past. I'm just gonna say that, even though it's not true. There's more of an undercurrent brightness. I think that's the kind of brightness I was trying to get at. Because yes, there's so much brightness. It's like this up part is brightness, or yeah. It's like the up part of brightness. Then I'm not feeling anything about the lower part. But then this center, this is the brightness that I'm on about right now. And it is that eccentric energy. It's the energy of being in flow with your soul, of not feeling separated from all that you've experienced or all that you are. It's not feeling a separation of lifetimes or of any other sort of sections that you feel make it so you can't live out your or live with your fuller self. You recognize more now how this lifetime flows into other lifetimes. It's not separated. And again, it doesn't have to be lifetimes that we're on about. I just think that's an easy example. What is a lifetime? The word magic wants to come through too. You are a soul. What is your experience? And some of you might want to simply hear those words and then say, I don't care, and then run off and do what you do feel like doing. Because while there has been a lot of this energy of like philosophy, there's also so much of that already being integrated, or there's just like this differentiation between asking questions because you feel like you're trying to get something, and asking questions because of the love you have for asking questions. And that's what I feel like you're in now. Or stepping into. No, I don't like that energy of stepping into. Because while it may fit, it doesn't feel fitting. Okay. Pile number 3. That is where I'm going to leave your reading. There's like so many codes being brought through, and this is how I feel. Like I'm not feeling like expressing in words anymore of your reading. It's like my part is over. Well, my brain part is over. And now it feels like loads of other beings are bringing through other energies. And I'm playing a part in facilitating that. Okay, cool. There's so much presence. I love it. Namaste. Where are you? I'm looking for a certain crystal. Ah, there you are. Welcome in, pal 4. I almost called you pal 3. 3 does make me think of transformation, which feels like a very big part of your reading. This card is sort of an interpretation of, I heard angel wings, but I was going to say, or my mind thinks of this more as butterfly wings. And just before your reading, I brought in this amethyst because I felt like it fit this card too well not to. There's something of an expectation with this reading, with your energy. Expectation. There's so much going on in your energy field right now that I feel like I could just sit and watch you. Watch all the energies that you are surrounded by. It's kind of like a swiveling energy. It's giving very, very magical energy. Or vibes. And it's transformation magic. It's moving. It's like intentional moving of energies. And I want to note that with bringing in this amethyst crystal, first I saw it in my mind's eye. Sometimes I don't have that for knowing what things or crystals to use. For example, I'll just feel drawn to one or want to use one. But with this I saw it, so I brought it. But when I found it, and I couldn't find it, when I found it, it took a moment for my mind to process what I had found. So that feels very relevant for your reading. And it also, I'm also being drawn to how the green within this is wanting to be a part of these leaves. So this like transformation magic could have to do very strongly with nature, or with green, with your heart. Okay, let's get more cards. There's something so active about your energy. And now I'm being reminded that this isn't like a random reading. This has an intention of what would it enlighten you to hear? Or what would enlighten you to hear, apparently. Because that's what doesn't and does make more sense to my brain. Which feels like something to do with your energy of like it both does and doesn't make sense. But it doesn't feel like that really fits. It's like I'm saying those words, but why? But why? There could be something very particular about intention within this reading. And I wasn't even trying to say within this reading. Some of you may want to have certain codes or certain energies, certain answers, certain explanations for something within this reading, so you can intend for that to come through. I think you're being brought more into awareness of how much creative control you really have. This feels like an essence of being able to play with life with more of the tools that you once didn't see. there's more about nature here, but it's something of the magic in nature, or seeing yourself in nature. No, it's more to do with magic. It's not like a this isn't like an abstract sort of reading. I feel like there'll be very specific messages to do with how you want to play with life, or what you want to create, what you are creating, or who you want to create with, where you want to create. That felt more significant, and yet the significant one didn't feel like I really could feel it. It's like you're reading there's so much about that which is true, that which is the one, isn't really feeling like such. It's so much more like, oh, you're there, are you? Or like, oh, I'm here, am I? It's like so much in resonance with who you are that it's not registering as a different energy, as the energy. It's this is interesting. I also just then mistook this deck for being this other deck, and Fairnick wants to be out for sure. Fairnick is a guide. It's a sort of fox crossed with a wolf, very grey, but with bits of green and red in their fur, her fur. She feels very connected to moon energy to me, and it's bringing me to a sort of grounding, but I'm not sure how that plays into this yet. Something about guiding, but grounded guiding, or like it's an intentional sort of guiding. Okay, so what I was trying to say earlier was I used this deck thinking it was this deck after beginning using it. Okay, it doesn't matter if that doesn't make sense. What is this? Fan. And I continued to try and get a card from it, even though I thought that I already got a card from it. I knew there was another card. It's like so much isn't making sense to my brain. I just tasted golden syrup. I haven't had golden syrup for years. Golden syrup. I keep being brought to such like magical energy, like a magical forest. Like elixirs and tint, what's that word? Like trinket, not trinket, but like tinctures? Okay, Fan is a being who travels. I don't know where his home is. These are character cards, by the way. Fairnick is a character in my creation, and Fan is another character. And at the back we have Afanichiko. Okay. There's something about intentionally helping. Because I believe Afanichiko is a distributor, like a head, like a CEO kind of energy. Fan is a tree being too, so more of nature. It's like a sort of toolkit that you have already readily available to you in exploring magic, in exploring what you can create, what you can do. It's like what your body can do, but what your body can do because of what that body is. What is the body you have, and what are the limitations that you want to let go of surrounding what it can do? Because I feel like it's important to be saying not what you can do, but what can it do? Because I feel like that will help you to release the expectations, release the boundaries, release the restrictions. What can it do? What is it? What is it a part of? Because seeing the grander whole, seeing what is really like behind the veil of this experience, maybe what was in the past that you know has happened, that thus means that can be reinvented in the future, in the present. It's giving me the energy of like looking at the cells, looking within a body, looking at what something really is in its core, not its core, but in its physicality. And yet I could get into more of like a science energy of logical understanding, which some of you may feel strongly towards, but I'm not getting that imagery here because I keep being brought to nature and more of a sense that you already know how to do it and you're already doing it. Yeah, and there's a call to reinvent your understanding of what already doing it really is. And I'm being really drawn to the fact that I have your main card over here on the right. It's not the center. It's like this transformation, this butterfly energy of change, and of change with this connected to the, because this amethyst felt like connected to the card and then the green within it to the plant. With this transformation energy connected to nature. I can't remember how I was finishing my sentence. It's, yeah, that's on the side. It's like what has already begun, but not in a sense of what is this? It's like what is already going on, what is always going on beneath the surface. Okay, I think I've got that message. Let's see if I can find a better explanation. Or, yeah, there's something about that. I heard your keen understanding is being distorted because of ideas you have around not being enough already. One of the very first messages I believe I said was like you already have, or you're bringing awareness to how you already have the full toolkit, or you have a bigger toolkit than you once had. There's something along the lines of you already have it all. There's nothing that you need to become or need to bring awareness to in order to do this, in order to begin, or in order to shift in the way that you're desiring to shift, fall in the way that you're desiring to fall, or swim or fly, or breathe, or create or grow. Okay, none from this, but it did that flip when I said you are a magical being in my head. And there's something so significant about how that was in my head. And I'm being drawn to how this is a pocket from an old favorite pair of trousers of mine. It's a pocket. It's being recreated. It's been recreated. It's no longer a part of the trousers. It's a case. I heard something about folding. And I'm being brought to more of that like biology again, like something folding, folds. And time also. Maybe the goddess Nut also, or there could be a specific deity that you're working with, but it's not necessarily deity. It could be a simple like vibration that you're working with that is calling for more recognition. not more attention necessarily, or more energy, or a shift even in the way you're interacting. But it's like the shift comes because of the understanding of the present interacting. It's a subliminal shift is what I heard. Raven, shaman. Walk between the worlds, create. There's such a creation energy here. Create with magic, create with that which you understand exists and can be channeled down. There's so much magician energy here. Magic. You are the creator and magician. Magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. There is a power. Because I want to say because there's a certain power. There's something in particular that you are thinking of. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. There's such a capable energy here. But it doesn't need to be one that stresses you out. That's just a message for some of you. I didn't feel like that would fit for everyone. This isn't something that needs to stress you out. It's a message of... I heard hesitation. A message confirming your hesitation, but not needing that hesitation to be gone. It's simply bringing awareness to more of the truth. Not in trying to push you there, but simply showing it to you. This is complete magic. Hummingbird miracles. You are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. It's the energy of miracles. Miracles exist and you know it. But I don't even want to say like they exist. I want to say you can create them. Or that which you see as a miracle is nothing more than energetic exchange. It's the same vibration that flutters through all of life. There's a bit of a question of what even is a miracle. Because everything exists. Full stop. I almost didn't feel like saying everything exists, or my mind was then brought to the beaks, and I wanted to say that, but I felt like I should finish what I was thinking about, at least a small energy before, but when I tapped more into it, it felt unnecessary. So there could be something in that message metaphorically for you, in that you feel like you need to do the right steps in order for something to become, or in order to feel ready, or in order for something. You feel like you need to do the steps or know the steps. But this is more of an energy of just remembering, like allowing yourself to feel that magic, to embrace miracles, that essence of, I want to say, like, ecstatic shifting. I kind of want to say ecstatic embrace. There's so much around around creation. You can create. You can create. You can intentionally create. You can intentionally create. There's so much around your senses. It's like you don't need to try to create. You just can recognize that you already are creating. But that didn't really fit either. I'm seeing this mountain with like a mouth and a face and no eyes, and just makes me think of your ability to sense what is what allows you to interact with what is. you can it's like you can play with energy by simply recognizing the energy. As soon as you recognize it, as soon as you simply touch it, feel it, know it, that is magic. That is changing it. Your relationship to anything creates change within it. And there's a small message of playing with that. And I think that's what will enlighten you to hear. That life is magical, and that simple feeling into what is, feeling into what could be also. Maybe specifically to do with certain objects. What could this be? What is it? And when you feel into what it is, recognizing the shift that it takes on. And maybe feeling into different perspectives you can have of it, and recognize that each time you bring a different perspective to it, that in and of itself changes what it is. It changes what is in your reality. There's a strong potency within perspective here, in understanding that creation and magic is simple relationship. Your personal relationship to particulars. Yes, particulars, because even non-particulars are particulars. I feel like your reading is done now, but I'm kind of laughing. And by the way, love is at the back. Couldn't not show that. You heal with the power of love. Yeah, it's like simple magic. Magic that comes not through needing to do more than what you already do. But I feel like I'm milking that metaphor now. Okay, yeah, I was laughing because I felt like your reading was done and that you feel more enlightened through hearing this, and yet I also felt like an essence of like we could keep speaking, or like you'd want to keep listening to more of a similar vibration. So there could be more readings for you to watch. That's a simple confirmation if that would bring you joy to do, or if that is not something that would bring you joy, but something that would bring you another sort of value that you value. Okay, bye-bye. Helpful. See you in another reading if you're heading on to another of mine, or see you in another vibration, magical perspective of this life, of all life, or another life. Yeah, see ya.